What?
Thank you, Kat.
I said thank you, Kat.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Hmm. Well, yeah. What am I gonna do with them?
Right.
I mean, they're gonna go to my friends. They're not going to random people.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just go and exchange all the ones that I get and just give them back out.
I think we've all kind of been doing that, which I'm like, that's awesome. Keep it in the fam.
I usually
Absolutely.
hide in the comments, so I don't usually get much.
Well,
I used to be that way.
when
I was
you,
a
yeah, I get that. I should probably change this so it doesn't say that I'm drawing a mermaid. Actually, it should have the introduction for the Y2K party.
You're drawing a mermaid?
I wanted to make sure that it didn't say that. Warlord, no, Warlord, you can't do that. Somebody who's watching, can you go in and then, can you go out and then come in and see what the introduction says? Darth, are you able to do that? Hello, Easy. Got you.
Hey guys.
Hello. What does it
Hey,
show you?
Wheezy.
What does it
Hey.
say on the introduction?
Hi, Wheezy.
What do I see?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, where is the introduction?
It should be in the comments.
Oh,
If you scroll to the top of the
it
comments.
says welcome to TikTok Live. Have fun interacting. Blah blah blah. It's just the TikTok TikTok rules.
Have you already been drinking?
That's it. There's no other introduction.
Okay.
Oh, it says hello. I am Cat with cat illustrations. Today
Yep,
I'm
that's what I
coloring in
was
a
afraid
mermaid.
of.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's what I said whenever I came in initially.
Like 1999. Welcome to.
So it says it's shutting down in an hour and 34 minutes. It could.
It
They're not
could,
saying
yep.
for sure. They're saying it could. So nobody's really sure if it's midnight or
Hey,
morning
Kat.
or when
Hmm?
the hell it's going to be.
Oh, never mind. Oh, Fix It's trying to get up.
Okay, will it let you bring him up?
Yeah, I got it.
What do you mean, Kat? I thought you said it's not going anywhere, remember?
Didn't you read the second update?
No, I don't follow Discord.
Yeah, I know. I told you to fix that.
You're supposed to follow it, fix it.
But remember, I texted you and you were like, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, until I put what I saw today. TikTok, nobody expected that to happen.
I didn't, for sure.
There was no reason
I
for
called
TikTok
it.
to take itself out.
I knew it wasn't going to leave at 8:30. I had a feeling.
I called it.
You what?
But it is going to go at midnight probably. Maybe.
Does that mean that I have to be the last one on live because I'm further behind, so therefore we could party the longest?
You wouldn't have any guests in there.
Well, as long as you don't log out.
Yeah, I bet you if you stay logged in after the thing goes off.
And then I'm really curious if I were to go
I'm not
live.
logging out. I'm not. I'm gonna wait to
curious.
see how long it's gonna stay.
I wonder
Wait,
if I
what if
can
you
do.
get a VPN? I'm sorry, Fix It.
You can't with the VPNs. The VPN services are actually starting to deny people that are going in
Okay.
there. And it has a warning that if you're going to be on TikTok, you could be put on a watch list.
Oh, really?
What if
Yeah, I heard about that.
what if I just set the clock on my computer back a year so then it doesn't think it's time yet?
It doesn't go by your computer, George.
No, the
That
TikTok
is
Studio.
$99.
TikTok
Oh,
Studio.
that's funny.
No, we do that to get early game releases. So if I put my computer ahead, I can get game releases early.
Oh my god.
You're dedicated.
Well, that will change your location. Like,
yeah.
What the
but
hell?
that won't work on your phone. It's gonna go by.
TikTok Studio on the computer.
It's gonna all happen at once. So, like, TikTok Shop is all set to Pacific Standard Time. So that's why some people think it won't go down until
Ah.
Pacific Standard Time.
Our time is better.
I mean, technically Hawaii is last, and I don't even know what time zone that is.
Island time.
Island?
Yeah, that was cute.
So have we decided where we start rioting yet? Oh, never mind.
Never mind. Why?
Oh,
What do you mean, never mind?
That's the kind of stuff you say on Signal, not on TikTok.
With only
Give it.
myself, I have nothing to interact with. It's as if I'm here.
Okay,
but not
now
here
it
at
should
all.
say something
It's as
different
if I'm
in the
slowly
intro.
fading into
Now it shouldn't say anything about drawing.
thank you, Mimi.
Where's my mom?
She's in Montana's.
She's still in Montana. She was mentioning that she's coming over.
Oh, good.
I still gotta take a shower and stuff.
I know, that's what I'm doing, is getting up, and then I'm gonna turn my camera on for... What? Did you say what to me?
That sentence.
I'm going to finish getting ready,
Oh, okay.
and then I'll have my camera on the rest of the night.
Yeah, I said I'm gonna take a shower, and you said, yeah, me too, and then I'm gonna turn my camera off. I'm like, what the f did you just say?
You have to shower and get ready. And I said, yeah,
Okay.
me too.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. You just agreed so quickly. I was like,
Dude, our neurodivergent brains cross wires, and we get lost, and we suck everyone down into the void with us.
what did you just say?
Oh, that's really funny.
Were you really asking what I just said?
No, I'm good now. I just time slow moment. I'm there. I'm with you.
Wait, Radiant's in there?
Radiant. We're on Radiant. We're on YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. YouTube, Twitch, and Discord.
Come up here, buddy.
Don't forget OnlyFans.
No.
Oh my god.
Let's not get...
I'm not streaming.
let's
I'm
not
not
get
streaming
kicked
there
out
right now.
that early in the night.
I'm sorry. I'm going hard. It was a little too quick.
God.
I already showed my pew-pews.
No, you didn't.
You showed your
Yeah, I
pube?
did. I showed my pew-pews.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
You're an idiot.
No, I showed my
Oh my god.
Talking about showing their holes tonight.
What?
I was
Did it let you come up?
I was in someone's live earlier, and they said the best shit ever. They were like, so the cockpit on the airplane. We're not calling it the cockpit anymore. We're calling it the dick hole.
Oh my lord.
Oh my god.
I was like, huh? It's no more offensive.
No. We used to
Wonder
tease Grandma because she would say cockeyed all the time.
Oh, I'm cockeyed.
Do you know how that weird that sounds? You should get mad at us. Hello, too much. I definitely don't have Snap. That's what I call it.
Yeah, and so they're just like, you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna take
Stacy's
ourselves
coming
out.
up.
TikTok really said, you know what? We've had enough.
Well, I was thinking about it. The $5,000 fine per person, the way that the act was worded, technically they could try and pin that on them. So I wonder if they're just trying to be careful, because imagine right now if TikTok owed the government like $425 billion or something, then they'd be screwed. They would have to sell themselves to others.
That'd be a shit ton of money.
It's ridiculous. It's like a freaking... it's insane. That's why I didn't think the Supreme Court would uphold it, because the stuff that was in there was stupid.
We're not
This is
gonna
crazy.
take
We're on
it.
3 apps right now.
We're not gonna take it.
No, not gonna take it.
Hey guys,
What?
so
Hey.
Jim just messaged on Facebook and he said that he just got kicked out just now and he can't get back in.
No
I
way.
just read that too.
What?
Out of TikTok?
At 9:33,
What?
I just got
Green Mom
kicked.
just said the same
Okay,
thing.
we out. We out of TikTok.
Really?
I'm
Yep.
staying right here.
I'm not
But
gonna.
I'm not gonna log off.
Sit.
I'm gonna see what happens.
Y'all, I'm
No
gonna have to mute when I take a shower. When I leave it.
Can y'all still hear me?
Yes.
I can
Okay.
hear you.
It's on my screen, but I'm not gonna get out. I'm curious what's gonna happen.
I'm not
If
ready
it's
for this.
totally gonna kick me out.
It doesn't even make sense. It's supposed to be 8:30.
I'm not ready for this.
Do y'all see it on your screens? Did it
No,
pop?
I don't see anything.
Okay. It will pop up. Watch. It's gonna.
What do you see on your
Well,
screen?
don't manifest it.
It says, sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S.
TikTok, you
Are
don't
you
want me.
serious?
You don't want to.
Yeah, we are
That
fortunate
happens.
that President
Go to
Trump
my
has
Discord.
indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office.
Jim's calling me, trying to take me out of here.
Don't answer. Time to quit it.
He's trying to take me with him.
Well,
Yeah.
guys, if we get kicked out of here, we love you all.
No, if you get kicked out of here, go to my Discord.
Oh no, if I get kicked out of here, I'm
Yeah,
going
we
somewhere.
got other avenues. Not
I
just
wonder how.
I'm capturing this live right now on YouTube for us, where I'm recording it.
okay.
Oh, it's not that far.
That's good.
I'm sorry.
I know it's got all of my videos and everything off. It took all my videos out. It's nothing there. And,
But you don't have nothing on your screen showing and saying that it's done.
no, but I mean, like where you.
Let me tell you. I'm gonna try going on to my second account.
Don't go out.
I'm not.
TikTok, I will strike you.
I'm not. I'm gonna look on my
I thought the
second.
videos were supposed to stay.
Yeah, all my videos are gone. And I did get my account.
Sorry, TikTok isn't available right now.
I did put my account on the phone, but I couldn't know. I don't know how to delete the.
Babe,
It says that on my
try to
second
get on
account.
TikTok on your phone.
No, I'm telling you right now. I just went on my phone on my second account, and it says, "Sorry,
I'm still
TikTok
on
isn't
it.
available right now."
We just said it forced him to end his live.
Oh man, guys, that means it's coming.
They lied. It was supposed to be
So
mid.
here's my pretty town, guys.
My lady couldn't. Hold on.
Where I live now.
Hold on. My lady couldn't get on. So once we go down, you guys, that's the end.
Yeah, once you leave, we won't let you back in.
Damn it!
Well, they lied.
I didn't even finish saving all the videos I wanted to save.
All my
Hold on. Before anybody goes, I'm not leaving, but before it takes us down, I just want to tell you all, you guys have been amazing, and I value you guys, and I am so grateful I've met you, and that's good in my life.
Well,
I'm fixing it.
I feel the same way.
guys.
I feel the same way.
I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
to the
You
party.
guys have more friends on here that I'm closer to than the ones that choose to be in real life.
Yeah.
Hey, Brittany, thank you for following me on here. What's up? Thank you for
Hey,
following me.
really quick, because this is on my account, and it's gonna take us down right now. You guys, thank you
I
for
love you guys.
Are you
experience.
going over to Discord?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Shout out to TikTok. This is my
We'll
block.
We'll talk over on Discord.
Thank you for everyone that's been
scholars say that the time of Christ's arrival is preordained. His return coincides with this lowest point in our power to resist evil.
Invisible, but the pen hold a bitch like that bit. We the click that be rolling too thick. Got that ish from the papers. You don't know how pain fill them up with the trickles. We not in the safe. Fill my mouth close and you squirt. You work shots while I steal you. How will I stand still and pro? Will I look through bodies in the semen? I'm looking for reasons to try and make peace in this state, but I'm leaving too filled with them demons. My clip filled with heathens who get sick of breathing every fucking season. I'm Christ, bitch, I'm Jesus. I breath all the great. Now Alpha Omega, the Lord of the King. Look when they gave up on it, left me astray. Now they breeded the beast and you fuck boys will break. Fuck with the click and you might die today. In the shadows I stay, stay, stay.
Jacket back at the trunk, I'm swagging from the victim I was dragging up in the fuck boy, yeah. Got papers from all my enemies, locked in with FTP. I got the password and I get it free, fuck the my memory. Forgot my identity, lost in the endlessly. Right now the free has become me relentlessly, tempting me to go back, yeah. Now I'm broke with no cash, gotta have tank of gas, which is emptying as destination, ain't my destiny. Trying to shine effortlessly, checking see suicide gonna blow up on MTV. Got a bounce strapped to my chest. Fuck every industry, fashion and wrong. Fuck the song, fuck the church. I don't give a fuck, please let me rest.
Bible, I'm rolling it up in a switch. Pop out my liver, it shivers and quivers. I'm popping
It feels like I'm popping a trick dog. The Hitler of the suicide boat that follows. Bottles I swallow with skirts, no book of up a tomorrow. So in the sorrow, the scarecrow has risen off the post.
You say no trendsetter. Look, nigga, lace up my Beretta. I just shop out 10 rounds, don't blame you better. I can't say pass that gay. Bitch, I know you play. They just some enemies. They just some enemies. They just some enemies. These niggas some enemies.
We only ask you for one thing. Your identity. We'll need the very core of who you are. It's a small price for a lifetime of unending joy, don't you think? And no need to fear crime or violence. We'll always keep an eye on you. For your safety.
Tied around his neck, he hanging in the fucking gallows. Flipping the cross, I could never be handled. Shivering shadow, hollow my heart. Get your fucking water shallows. Beside the great white woman in the deep end, blood drops out to slaughter tackle. Ship on the ocean, floating in that rest. Taxes that have less, I'm making a nest. Skeleton rot in the fish with the best. Pelicans dropping the pick up the rest. Hell is a tropic resort on the guest. Rubies and diamonds inside in my chest. Blowing out my smoke outside of my chest.
Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. You see what this fucking mask is on? That's the universal sign. But leave me the fuck alone, okay? I don't like it. I don't like people. I'm sorry.
Introducing the Ungun, the non-lethal self-defense platform. Lightweight and simple to use. It uses an...
Watch this before drinking plant-based milks.
Oat milk latte.
Protein and oats X, almost 6.
Good
principessa nella tua fredda stanza urla di le stelle che tremano d'amore e di speranza. Ma il mio mistero è chiuso in me, il nome mio nessun saprò e non ho sulla tua bocca l'odio quando la luce prenderò. Ed il mio bacio scioglierai silenzio dentro a me. All'alba vincerò,
Has no past and no future.
All right, everybody, let us all thank Donald J. Trump, the 47th President of the United States. We'll see you Monday where I'll be singing the national anthem. God bless you all. Have a great rest of the evening.
America healthy again.
You know, it's interesting. They talked about his father's alliance with Cesar Chavez. Oh, we're going to throw it back to the party now.
All right, welcome back to Right Side Broadcasting Network Live TV as we continue on here. It's 10:52 Eastern Time. We're getting ready to go back out to Bobby and Megan in just a second. Just quick programming note, once again, tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. Thanks so much for joining us on this coverage today in Sterling, Virginia, of course, for Trump National, and also at this official Hispanic inaugural ball, which will be going right back out there to Bobby and Megan as they will be closing out the night there. So a lot of coverage coming up, as you know. I know if you've been really dedicated and watching a lot of our coverage, it's been quite awesome just seeing more and more people show up in Washington, D.C. as we get ready to see 45 go to 47 in just a matter of a couple days on January 20th, 2025. If you remember just a few months ago, just all of the campaign trail, we do know that we were looking forward to this date. Well, it's finally coming to fruition. Also, Director, I cannot hear you in the IFB, so just let me know, and we can go back to Bobby and Megan. They're live at the official Hispanic inaugural ball. They'll be at the Capital One Arena tomorrow as well for the great rally that will be happening. And a lot of people are going to watch that, of course, including myself, and those of us here at Right Side as we enjoy the performances, the speeches, and of course President Trump speaking there tomorrow a bit later in the day. Again, starting out at the Arlington National Cemetery tomorrow morning for a wreath-laying ceremony. We'll have that live coverage as they pay their respects along with Gold Star families. So that'll be in the morning here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm Matthew Alvarez. Let's go now to Right Side Broadcasting Network host Bobby McNeely and Megan Kohler. Have a good night.
And welcome back to the Hispanic Inaugural Ball. I'm Bobby McNeely with MAGA Megan Kohler. Such a joy to be with you as always. This week has been so much fun.
Such a blessing to be here on the ground for Inauguration Week, here with you, Bobby, and with you, all of our RSBN viewers. We love each and every single one of you. And I have a few words from some of our favorite sponsors. So listen to this. Those close to retirement can't seem to catch a break today. Maybe it's you or a family member you're concerned about. It's time to take control of your future. Don't let bad policies and record inflation take your lifetime of hard work away. Our sponsor, Colonial Metals Group, help me with my goal of protecting my financial future. Having a self-directed IRA where I can safely store gold and silver assets.
My fucking bad, I was muted. What's up, Eagle? Yeah, bye, but you know, a little mad about it. Everything's down, bro. Everything. And Clapper and the other favorite app, they're being overcrowded.
Specialize in protecting your retirement with the most trusted store of wealth in human history, physical gold and silver. Go to freegoldguide.com/RSBN for your Colonial Metals Group retirement protection kit created specifically for our followers. That's freegoldguide.com/RSBN or give them a call at 866.
How are you, Eagle? You doing good?
2159. Qualified applicants can receive up to $10,000 in additional silver to their account. Call now.
And we'd like to thank our friend Mike Lindell, mypillow.com/RSBN.
All right, folks, we have our own stream to this, and we're going to be bringing that to you tomorrow. Now, that stream is straight from the White House press pool. That's not from ABC, NBC, CBS, Right Side Broadcasting, or anybody. And what we're going to do is, as soon as that stream kicks off again tomorrow, and I'll show you what that looks like. There it is. That's the live stream from the White House. So as soon as that comes up, we're going to go directly to that. This is just filler, courtesy of RSBN, to have something to keep the stream up and keep you guys entertained. I was supposed to be doing, and still will be doing, a live interview tomorrow. We may be getting that so as that we can put that up and share that out with people, so as that they can other people can see that interview, because we haven't put that interview up in years. So we'll be showing you that as well. Is seen? No. The current security posture that Donald Trump has is he has a private security team that is in charge of his security and is being backed up by the Secret Service. But Trump has his own security working with the Secret Service because of so many threats on his life, and the fact that the Secret Service has already failed him multiple times. I mean, it's ridiculous, the incompetence that the U.S. Secret Service has demonstrated over the last 6 months. So, no, he is not under the direction or protection exclusively of the U.S. Secret Service.
It's an exciting time for our country, and we hope you've been able to see everything on the ground as well with the changes happening since the inauguration will be inside on Monday. The second time in 40 years, President Reagan and President Trump taking the oath of office in the beautiful Capitol Rotunda for their second terms, respectively. And it's sure to be an exciting time as MAGA descends upon Washington, D.C. And you know, it's interesting, MAGA Megan, I saw earlier that the Crowds for Sale CEO actually said that there's not a lot of enthusiasm on the left right now. So that's why you didn't see the numbers at the
You'll have
People's
to leave,
March
go
that you
over,
normally
come back,
would,
please,
because
go over.
President Trump has offered an olive branch to so many people of different ideologies and backgrounds to bring in this big tent movement to make
That's how I
America
have to
great
do it.
again.
That's exactly right, and that proves my hypothesis about the protesters correct, because all election season and all of the Trump rallies we went to, we barely saw any protesters, barely saw any hecklers. They were very quiet because, you know, maybe those people that snuck into Trump's rallies actually got the point and they started to understand the Make America First, Make America Great Again, America First agenda. So he probably has flipped a lot of people who actually hated him before, but that hate turned into passion and love for our great country. So President Trump, of course, bringing everyone together to put America first, and it all begins January 20th.
It's such a time, we were born for such a time as this, quite frankly, and you see the excitement here at the Hispanic inaugural ball with so many wonderful countries represented, including 2 Latin American presidents and President Javier Milei from Argentina giving a riveting speech in Spanish regarding the far-left progressivism that has destroyed really the modern Western civilization, how he and President Trump will help restore common sense to both great countries.
That's exactly right. And of course, Ted Cruz mentioned that the rich white liberals that have nothing to do with the Latino community came up with this strange word, Latinx. Right. And the people in this Hispanic community all look around and they're like, what is Latinx? Who is Latinx? Why are you calling us Latinx? So it just goes to show the hypocrisy and mental gymnastics on the left, and the people of America all around are rejecting it.
So be sure to tune in tomorrow as the classic Christina Loren visits Arlington National Cemetery for the traditional wreath laying by President-elect Donald John Trump. And yours truly, along with MAGA Maha Megan Kohler, will be at the Capital One Arena for an exhilarating MAGA rally pre-inauguration celebration of the 45th and soon-to-be 47th President of the United States. Stay with us for the next 36 hours. It's going to be one of the most exciting times in American history. For yours truly, MAGA Megan, the magnificent Matthew Alvarez, and classic Christina Loren. Good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Hey y'all, it's Silk from the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live Show. Look, don't forget to check me out right here on RSBN Network. Be sure to watch the show on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yes, it's imperative that you do so, okay? I look to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
A large retail store just canceled a huge order, leaving us with a ton of extra My Pillows. But you know what? That's their loss. I'm going to make it your gain. For the first time ever, you get standard classic My Pillows for wholesale prices, only $14.88. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.88. But it gets even better. For a limited time, I'm going to offer my entire classic collection at wholesale prices. Upgrade to a queen size My Pillow for just $18.88. King size only $1 more. Get my body pillows for $29.88 and multi-use My Pillows for only $9.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on the screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of wholesale pricing for the first time ever
Instagram?
on TV, including my standard size My Pillow, only $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. We have limited quantities at this price, so limit.
Cat, who's Instagram?
Once they're gone, they're gone.
Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network, your trusted conservative news outlet. At RSBN, we deliver the truth when the mainstream media falls short. Since 2015, we've proudly broadcasted every single one of President Trump's iconic MAGA rallies, bringing you the excitement and energy live before anyone else. By watching RSBN, you get an unfiltered front row view of the action on the ground. We interview the crowds to give a voice to millions of Americans just like you. We show you President Trump's speeches in their entirety, free from interruptions and censorship. We cover the stories that matter to you with the integrity and passion you deserve. Thank you for choosing RSBN as your home for America First News. Together, we stand strong, united, and informed. So join us and be part of the right side of history.
Send a rose so how do we work this app, y'all? How do we work this app? I don't know what to do over here. So what y'all want to talk about? What y'all want to talk about over here on this app? I guess just I don't car went real fast, drove real fast. This is yeah, I got kicked out off of the TikTok app. I got kicked off over there. It's been shut down now. How we get that lion rolling? Oh, this is I'll bring
What's this feature? I don't. Oh, you asked a question. Hey, bud. What the hell happened?
What the hell
All right, folks, let me
happened?
get you
This guy
something
says-
here in the meantime. And I actually have.
I'm over on the same. I'm
Stand
over on the
by
same live
here.
cats watching. Scott
Sorry.
D. Henry. He just brought somebody up,
Let
and the
me
dude
find
was
it.
like, "What the hell happened? What are we doing?" I'm just like, "Oh my god." I don't know. I don't know how to act. I'm just kind
Okay,
of sitting here
use that in the
staring at my
meantime.
YouTube that nobody comes to. I'm
I
just like,
got more
what am
for
I
you.
doing?
Why? We're all squared up. How do we do things in here? So.
What's up, Brittany? How are you?
And now you're frozen because you're on a boat. Oh man, am I frozen? Still? It's. This is what it is, man. I don't know. You're right. I don't think the Lions are going to the Super Bowl. I'll say that. Are they getting their butts kicked in? Yeah. Well, it is 45 to 31.
All right, you are listening to the People's March that has been underway over in Washington, D.C. We are bringing you portions of that as it is taking place live. The time now, 2:02 on the East Coast and 11:02 on the West Coast, taking a live look over the White House in D.C. as final preparations
a
are
replay, folks.
underway for President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration Monday. Just yesterday, Trump announced that he would be sworn in the Capitol Rotunda due to extremely cold temperatures in D.C. We've watched the setup for a while now, so how does moving indoors kind of change security? I want to discuss that and the impact on the law enforcement presence after the 2 attempts on Trump's life last year. I do want to bring in Dr. Matt Dallek, a professor of political management at the George Washington University's Graduate School of Political Management. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us and kind of explain it just a little bit further here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, first off, I do want to start by talking to you about the assassination attempts. There were, of course, 2 of them over a span of just weeks. So my question for you, how does all of that factor into how law enforcement, these agencies, come together to protect President-elect Trump and other folks that are there at the inauguration?
Well, yeah. I mean, as you said, there were 2 almost back-to-back assassination attempts, and one really, really close miss, near miss. So it puts, I think, all of the law enforcement agencies on edge. It makes them have to take kind of extra precautions to the extent possible. I think it reminds them of just how dangerous it is. Anytime a president-elect in this case steps into a public forum. But having said that, it probably makes their lives and their jobs a little bit easier, the fact that it's being moved inside, because it's going to be easier to protect the president-elect and all the other officials around him.
Regardless of that, would you expect that there would overall be just more security in general, regardless of whether it's inside or outside, than maybe we've seen during previous inaugurations?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that anyone who goes near the mall, it's going to feel like an armed encampment. It's going to be very hard. Traffic will be blocked off for many blocks around. And my guess is that it will be, the security will be ramped up in a way that it wasn't even 8 years ago or 12 years ago. It's not just because of the assassination attempts. I mean, remember the violence on January 6th. All kinds of acts of political violence, including the recent horrific episode in New Orleans, the truck attack. So, we're living in, I think, a particularly dangerous time when politics is spilled over into become more bloody, basically. And so I think that it's that backdrop that's going to inform this overwhelming and massive security presence on Monday.
I would imagine that both law enforcement has trained for both of these possible scenarios. When you talk about either being indoors or outdoors, they have probably had training for both possibilities, right?
Oh, absolutely. And the thing about the Capitol and the inauguration is that they happen every 4 years. And so, the officials have a game plan, right? They have a template. And they have a template.
All I know is I can come up with a fucking clean battle strategy if we need
and they
one.
absolutely have a plan to guard the Capitol building during probably the most high-profile event in years, right? So they know how to secure the rotunda. They know how to secure the Capitol building, in large part because it's just something they're familiar with. And so, in contrast to, say, January 6th, they weren't really prepared because they weren't expecting thousands of people to descend on the Capitol in the way that they did. So, this is, I would say
Not true. Yes, they were.
But it's certainly a familiar setting, unlike, let's say, the assassination attempt in Pittsburgh at that outdoor rally. I mean, that's not a setting that...
I'm not afraid. I got too much body armor and too much ammo in my house right now to be afraid.
Reports are starting to circulate here from various news agencies. They have not been confirmed by Fox just yet, but they're starting to circulate that some of the D.C. area agencies have refused to work the inauguration and protect the president, which begs the question here, how are the agencies involved even chosen when it comes to D.C. area law enforcement involvement outside of, let's say, D.C. Police, Capitol Police, and Secret Service? Because it's not just those 3 agencies, but it is a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, that would shock me if there were certain law enforcement agencies that were refusing to participate. I mean, I don't know on what grounds they could even do that. Their role is to secure the city, right, to secure officials. So that would boggle the mind. In terms of this is a whole of government effort, right? Secret Service, National Guard. I'm sure, there's some at least U.S. military involvement in terms of planning. The Capitol Police and Capitol Security officials, local police, obviously. I mean, this is again, this is not an event that's foreign to all of these agencies. I mean, they're accustomed to working together to secure the Capitol during an inauguration, during a State of the Union, which happens once every year. And, there's a reason why we've seen attacks in unanticipated moments. We've not seen attacks when law enforcement is prepared. And so I think it is highly unlikely, I mean, you never say never, but highly unlikely that we're going to see a kind of attack that's going to get anywhere close to the principles.
You also have previous presidents who will be there in attendance. You have some politicians that people have maybe specific feelings about either way. Also, tech billionaire Elon Musk is going to be there. It sounds like Mark Zuckerberg, a lot of high-profile people. So how does law enforcement go about protecting them as well? Because we're not just talking about President-elect Donald Trump and Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, but these other folks who are in attendance as well.
Yeah. Well, it's a good question. Look, first of all, a lot of those folks, like former Vice President Mike Pence or current President Biden, I mean, they do have their own Secret Service details, their own security protections. Elon Musk probably has his own security bodyguards and people around him. My guess is that obviously the Secret Service is paying most attention to President-elect Trump and the incoming Vice President J.D. Vance, but they're certainly aware of and probably have plans to protect other high-profile figures, controversial figures who could be targets. And I think the worry probably that they have, or one of the biggest worries, is more of a lone wolf, right? An individual who's disturbed, who has access to high-powered weaponry or other kinds of weapons, and so that is obviously harder to protect against. But there's going to be I think a massive wall around the Capitol Rotunda and also around all the places where most of these figures visit. And so it's going to be hard, especially in an indoor setting, for people to get in if they're carrying weapons.
My last question for you here. How does something like this, we're talking about a presidential inauguration that so many people, tens of millions of people, are likely to watch. So how does that differ from preparing for some other big events across the country, like let's say the New Year's Eve ball drop over in New York City, also attended by so many people and watched by millions?
Yeah, I don't think you can really compare an inaugural in terms of the security. I mean, I think the level of protection, in part because it's in the seat of the Capitol, and because it's sort of where the Secret Service operates, where the Capitol Police operate. Now, something like New York City on New Year's Eve, obviously you have a ton of security assets also deployed, but it just is not in terms of shutting down the city or parts of the city. In terms of who gets access to the main area or the main stage. In New York City, right, you're probably not going to have a lot of Secret Service personnel in that kind of setting. So I think this is just, it's almost sui generis, right? I mean, it's not really comparable to any other, even very high profile event, which has a lot of security. But this is almost like, it's a massive military operation in many respects. And, it's sad that that's the age we live in, but it is the reality.
All right, Dr. Matt Dallek, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and help discuss this a little bit further. Anything else you want to add before I let you go?
No, just that it's going to be insanely cold. And, the reality is, like, people who are going out to the inauguration, I mean, the cold is another real threat.
Actually, it has nothing to do with the cold, folks. This is all the one thing that Trump and, well, there's a lot of things, but in regards to the security situation, what Trump and Reagan have in common is they have both survived a assassination attempt. They were both shot in an assassination attempt. And this is the second inauguration of both. And that's why it's being held inside. It has not a damn thing to do with temperature. That's what they're saying. It's simply because of the security threat against Reagan and the security threat against Trump. The inauguration has been held in Washington, D.C. in much colder temperatures, much worse conditions. The truth of the matter is there is a significant security threat against Trump, just like there was against Reagan. And so the Secret Service and Trump's security detail is making sure that Trump doesn't get hit again. Because Trump, a lot of people don't understand, Trump has his own Trump cannot take office until 12 noon on January the 20th. That's 12 noon Eastern Standard Time is when he will be inaugurated. And that's when he takes office. It's always been that way. It's always been that way. He is not in charge until he is sworn in, and that ceremony is to take place at 12 noon. The interesting part about that, between now and then, actually since Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we don't have a leader at the Pentagon. The Secretary of Defense has already resigned. We don't have a leader at the FBI. We don't have a leader at the IRS. There have been lots of resignations, and they're resigning because they don't want to be fired. That's the reality of the situation.
Have to go dark this weekend unless the outgoing Biden administration assures the company it won't enforce a shutdown of the popular app after the Supreme Court yesterday unanimously upheld the federal law banning the app unless it's sold by its China-based parent company. The Supreme Court, in its ruling, held that the risk of national security posed by TikTok's ties to China overcomes concerns about limiting speech by the app or its 170 million users in the United States. The decision came against the backdrop of unusual political agitation by President-elect Donald Trump, who vowed that he could negotiate a solution, and the administration of President Joe Biden, which has signaled it won't enforce the law, which was passed with overwhelming bipartisan support beginning Sunday, his final full day in office. Lots to talk about here, so I do want to head over to one of our Fox News correspondents as they break down the latest for us.
President Trump is looking at ways to save TikTok.
President-elect Trump, who once called for a TikTok ban, pledges to keep the app available. After the Supreme Court unanimously upheld the law requiring it to be sold or banned due to national security concerns.
The best outcome here is for American ownership of the company, and that's something he's very interested in.
But a sale of the app by its Chinese parent company doesn't appear imminent. During oral arguments last week, attorneys for the company told justices Chinese law restricts the sale of the proprietary algorithm, which makes the app so popular.
This decision is the right one. TikTok is a threat to our national security and ought to be sold, not banned, but sold by the Chinese.
If there is no sale by the Sunday deadline, the app won't just disappear off phones. Instead, experts say new users won't be able to download it and updates won't become available. This would eventually make TikTok unusable to the nearly 170 million U.S. users.
Disappointment. I do believe that banning a social media app like TikTok is a violation of the First Amendment.
Today's
and that
ruling
just
by the
goes to show
Supreme
you
Court
the
got
ignorance
mixed reactions
of
from lawmakers, many who are now pushing for
the
the app to be
senator.
saved and are advocating for a deadline extension.
We have to find a way to save it so that we can have the time to fix the flaws.
On Friday, President-elect Trump said he spoke to China's president on the phone about TikTok and other issues. But his transition team has not said how he plans to save the app from going dark. TikTok CEO is among several high-profile guests expected at Trump's inauguration this Monday. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
Again, lots of questions here as TikTok says they are set to go dark starting tomorrow. So I do want to bring in Star Cashman. She's the founding partner of cyber law firm and also technology and cyber law chair of Gotham Government Relations. Thank you so much for taking the time this morning to join us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I'm excited to talk to you because you have a lot of insight into all of this. But let's just start with these security concerns, why this is all happening in the first place. Because TikTok is owned by ByteDance, which is a Chinese company. How does the app raise these security concerns? How do they use the data?
So the government has some reasonable national security and data privacy concerns. TikTok collects a vast amount of data, and clearly because of its connection with ByteDance, we are unsure of how exactly that data is used, and they know that if the Chinese government happened to request user data, they might have to comply with those laws as well and provide U.S. user data. So that's a huge concern. There's also a lot of concerns regarding propaganda. Social media apps are very powerful. There's a lot of groupthink. You could have propaganda involved. Based off of the algorithm, they get to choose what content to highlight and push out and what content to suppress as well. So there is a power there that if a Chinese government or a foreign adversarial government chose to want to push out certain content or pin users against each other or even have a certain outcome drilled into the mind of certain users, they would be able to use an app such as TikTok to do so. So there are pretty concerns about the connection that TikTok has with ByteDance, and there are definitely valid national security and data privacy concerns associated with that. And yeah, that's definitely why this bill was passed in the first place.
Now, President-elect Donald Trump said he is working to come up with his own decision once he looks into all of this a little bit more. But where does this all go from here? Is there really a chance at saving TikTok at this point?
So currently the main option is to divest. It is to disconnect from ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, and they do have the deadline of tomorrow to do so. There is a question of if they're able to do that after tomorrow, if that would be enough to save TikTok. There's also the question of the fact that they do not want to separate from the TikTok algorithm, even if they do sell to a U.S. company. So what that would look like, we're currently unsure of. There are some certain steps that the president could take. There's some executive actions that the president could take as well. He could put a delay on the ban if he has proof that TikTok is seeking to divest and separate from their connection with ByteDance. So that's a possibility. There's a lot of ways that they could potentially try to push this back. I know that Trump is certainly looking into this. He wrote an amicus brief already asking for an extension to try to negotiate the terms of the ban and the sell of TikTok. But we're really unsure as to whether any of this will solve the issue, and TikTok seems pretty clear in their stance of not necessarily wanting to sell to a U.S. company, and if they do, wanting to separate their algorithm, which is exactly what makes TikTok such a special and unique app that draws a lot of U.S. users to the app.
One of the things I wanted to ask you, you've worked on high-profile social media cases. You've attended meetings with TikTok's counsel and their attorneys leading up to this. Are you able to share what some of those discussions looked like?
Yeah, a lot of the discussions with TikTok counsel, it kind of mirrored what we saw in oral arguments and in the arguments that they made towards the court. They really focused a lot on whether or not it was constitutional, on its impacts of free speech. They focused a lot on strict scrutiny as well, saying that it didn't meet the strict scrutiny requirement. And they argued really that it moderated content, which the court disagreed with. They said that it doesn't moderate content. This is content neutral, because if they were able to divest, it would have nothing to do with content. This wasn't about regulating certain type of things that were said on the app. Some other interesting things that were brought up in some of these TikTok meetings were they were kind of concerned, or at least seems concerned about the real motives with data privacy, national security. Especially the data privacy one was interesting to me because we do not currently have a U.S. equivalent of the GDPR that's implemented in Europe, their data privacy law. And I think that it really would help with public trust to have something like that implemented for us. Users of all apps, including US-based apps. I think that that's something that's causing a lot of discourse here. But they seemed really confident also in their meeting, which was surprising to me. As for the previous high-profile social media cases, we see a lot of the same patterns where these big tech companies focus and they really fall back and rely on these old laws. Obviously, free speech arguments, also Section 230, we see a lot. And we see that we're kind of carving some pathway in there to say that these arguments don't always work. They don't always apply. That's something that we saw the Supreme Court argue back to TikTok as well during oral arguments, as they were asking, how does free speech apply here? How is the algorithm speech, which we saw in the net choice case, which I'm surprised that they didn't highlight even further. But we've been seeing the same arguments, and we're also seeing these same arguments get broken down with the use of creativity from victims' rights attorneys and individuals who are representing the users who are harmed by these apps. And I think that this is a perfect example of a case where they used those arguments. Even in the meetings with TikTok Council, they were being asked by people in the Q&A sessions if they would make any other arguments, and they were pretty confident in these arguments that I think did not work perfectly for them. It was definitely not an ideal outcome for TikTok.
All right, Star Cashman, appreciate you giving that insight, because, again, you have this insight that a lot of us don't have into all of this, and we're just going to have to watch and wait and see what happens. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
I need a jet, like, right now.
Okay, we can totally help that. Where are you calling from?
Switzerland. I'm at boarding school.
All right, so that's just one of the many videos that you'll find on the wildly popular TikTok page for Amalfi Jets. Colin Jones is the founder and CEO of the company. They have about 2 million followers on TikTok, a huge following for every video that they post. I do want to bring Colin in now to talk more about the TikTok ban, what it would mean for his business, and really the ban in general. Thank you so much, Colin, for taking the time to join us here and discuss this a little bit further. We appreciate it.
Of course. Good afternoon, Josh. Thank you guys for having me. It's great to be here.
Of course. Well, I want to start from the beginning. Tell me about how you started on TikTok, and did you ever think that it would be so successful as you have about 2 million followers?
Yeah, no, definitely not at all. I mean, when we first launched, I was pretty against our TikTok. I was like, listen, we're a private aviation company. A lot of our clients may see this content and be like, this is silly. This is kind of, unprofessional. We've pretty much seen the opposite of that. I mean, we actually started posting a couple of years ago, pretty heavy the past quarter. And obviously since then we've rose to over 1.9 million followers, which is amazing. I mean, we've built up a great loyal community, and I think have shared kind of the ins and out of the private aviation industry, which has been definitely really rewarding for a lot of our, kind of connections that we've made from it.
What overall effect do you think that a TikTok ban, TikTok going dark, would have on your company overall?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it'd be a big bummer if TikTok did kind of go through and get fully banned. I mean, we're a 5-year-old private aviation company, so we're very lucky and very grateful to have, 5 years of, at this point, probably thousands of customers that fly with us pretty recurrently. Obviously, posting on TikTok, we get a lot of great customers from TikTok. But at the end of the day, I mean, whether TikTok goes away and we move on, onto our other platforms of Instagram, Facebook, and so forth, I'm confident that we'll still be getting the same amount of customers from these other platforms. But, I really feel for a lot of these kind of content creators that, are fully only in on TikTok. I mean, if they lose that stream of revenue, that would put them in a really, really bad, dangerous situation.
And when you talk about that a little bit further, obviously you said if it happens, it happens. Are you still remaining hopeful, though, that the ban won't happen at all?
Yeah, I mean, again, we've been following the news pretty often. We actually had a big marketing meeting about this on Friday, and I'm confident that President Trump, and I know he's talked about potentially extending the ban to the next 90 days. But in the event it is, I mean, again, that's life, and I think businesses will adapt from that, and that's going to encourage us to continue posting on our other platforms. I mean, we're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, the Amalfi Jets app. So we're, consistently posting out content and coming out with new styles of content. And, again, like such is life to an extent. I mean, if TikTok were to get banned, we would continuously keep doing what we're doing.
What misinformation or maybe disinformation about content creators, businesses that are utilizing TikTok do you want to make sure to clarify for people who are watching right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, a big misconception with TikTok and a lot of these social media platforms that a lot of the people that are posting are just teenagers trying to become famous, and kind of very, like ostentatious and vain. But I think TikTok, itself is really a big medium and I guess a alternative to your traditional marketing methods. I mean, a lot of young businesses don't have the capital and don't have the resources to jump into your, your ads and your print marketing and your billboards and so forth. So TikTok, has allowed businesses to literally reach millions of people for virtually nothing. And I think, to take that away, it's going to hurt a lot of small businesses and people that sole income relies on TikTok alone. So, I'd encourage them to be on other platforms, but I think when it comes to kind of the misinformation there, while TikTok is a great platform, other platforms are also as great. And I would encourage people to, continuously posting their content on other platforms.
Any message that you'd want to get across at all to lawmakers who are kind of juggling this and trying to figure out what to do?
Yeah, I think that, when it comes to the lawmakers that are making the decisions here, again, you have to balance national security concerns, and you also have to balance the First Amendment kind of points there. This is setting a very strong legal precedent for social media and, the government's role in that. So I would honestly still leave the decision to the lawmakers. They're, have access to a lot more privileged information than I would, and I trust them. They're elected officials, and I encourage them to make the right decision, whichever decision that is.
And you talked about this a little already, but for folks who do want to follow you, explain where else they can find you. You're on some other platforms as well.
Yeah, we have 1.9 million followers, which is really hard to kind of visualize if you think about it. We'd encourage all of our followers to consistently follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and the Amalfi Jets app, always at Amalfi Jets. We have a lot of followers on there as well, and we're going to keep posting out the content. So we're posting every single day until TikTok won't let us anymore. So content's still coming.
1.9 million is insane because I think I have 2 and both of them are my mom. So I don't know. Colin, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. Anything else you want to add before I let you go?
Yeah, I would just, want to speak directly to these content creators that are worried, and a lot of these small businesses that see, a big part of their livelihood going away. I think that, TikTok is a great platform and great content will continuously do well on other platforms. So I'd encourage them to keep posting, keep doing what they're doing, and be creative. But at the end of the day, that, is part of life. And I think when business, you have to be able to pivot quite quickly on a dime. And I think such is the case, in the times that we're in right now.
All right. Thank you again for taking the time to be here with us. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you, Josh. Have a good day.
You too. And of course, we are taking a live look at the Capitol building once again. We are going to keep our eye on the situation here. As I mentioned earlier, President-elect Donald Trump has asked for a 90-day extension on the ban, which is set to take place at midnight. So we're going to keep an eye on it, and we'll let you know if there are any changes. But for now, we are just hours away from TikTok likely going dark.
Another big story this week. Red dye number 3 will soon disappear from grocery store shelves following a new FDA rule banning its use in food and oral medications. While the dye was banned from cosmetics decades ago, it remained in food products like candies, baked goods, and beverages, that is, until now. The decision has sparked a wave of changes for manufacturers who need to reformulate their products. It also raises questions about what will replace this controversial additive and whether U.S. food safety standards will align more closely with other countries that have long restricted